Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how I use Google Docs in my 7th grade math classroom, and I'll explain why it's such a helpful tool for both teaching and learning. So in your Google Drive, you can go ahead and open up a Google Doc by selecting New, selecting Google Docs, and it'll open up a blank untitled document. Now, what I like to do is create either guided notes or assignments where our students can complete practice problems for particular lessons. So let's say I was doing a lesson on unit rates and I wanted to do some practice problems. I can go ahead and title this document as unit rates. And I can go ahead and paste in what practice problems I want. And the best part about this is I can share this document with my students by clicking the share button at the top right hand corner and select it to anyone with the link. And then I have the option to give students viewer access or editor access. So they can either view the questions and maybe make a copy and do them on their own, or if I make them an editor, they can actually complete the problem and we can actually collaborate on the document at the same time. So really cool feature there. Let's see, another feature is the comments and suggestions. And what you can do here, so I could either provide feedback for students, or I could, highlight one of the questions and I can insert a comment here, or I can actually, I can click it over here on the right side, or I can highlight something, click insert, and then come down to the comment button at the bottom here. So if I insert a comment, I could go ahead and give them a hint. Like on this question, I could say, hint, make a two-way table. So that's kind of their hint for what to do for this question. And that's just another really cool feature in Google Docs. This is a really good way to provide feedback for students quickly without using paper copies. Let's see, another cool tool that I like to use for organization, and if you know anything about middle schoolers, they really benefit from structure and organization. So you can actually insert tables down here. Just pick out where you want to insert the table, click insert, click table, and you can actually insert whatever dimensions you want for a specific table. So it doesn't really matter here, and it depends on what you're inserting the table for, but you can go ahead and play around with this. You can edit all the details to it, and you can be, these can be really beneficial for you in the classroom. So those are a couple cool tools that I like to use on Google Docs. And one reason I like to use Google Docs is because students can access their work anywhere. If they're absent, they can still access it on Google Drive, and then they simply log in and they have full access to all of their work. So overall, Google Docs, it improves organization, it supports collaboration, and it helps create a more efficient classroom environment, and it also engages students and encourages them to become more independent and responsible for their learning. So again, just a couple of cool tips and tricks on Google Docs, and thank you for watching.